Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. We were off last week, but we are back to give you all of the nonsense and fuckery that you're very well used to. All right, so everything is back this week. We do have checked out, we have a review for Harriet, which is a Harriet Tubman movie, and Terminator Dark Fate. Those are both up by the time you're listening to this. Science and Tech is back. Lightning Round, movie and TV. Question of the week is back. I just have to link it. What the Fuck, brought to you by JTD, and of course trailers this week, where we will talk about The Mandalorian, amongst other things. So getting right into it, Science and Tech. So this is kind of an interesting story I wanted to do last week, but we were off. Harvard researchers grew meat in a lab from cows and rabbit cells, and it looks like the real thing. So apparently this has been a big thing in the science community, is how do they, if they can take cells from a living animal, basically put it in a petri dish and figure out how to basically get it to grow like regular muscle fibers, and then have that as a way to produce beef or rabbit or whatever animal without having to do like huge factory farming and things like that, right? Because you could just cut that shit down where you could have just a few cows and then just be like, you know, you don't have to do all the my guess is like all the feeding and all of that stuff, which is very good for the environment, obviously. If you could cut down.
Taste.
Apparently it tastes exactly just about the same. Close.
Just about the same, and the same is not the same.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Does it taste like an Impossible burger or whatever?
I actually had one of those. The one at
Wegmans?
Burger King.
Oh, Burger King.
Burger King has them.
Yo, that thing was really good. The Burger King Impossible Burger, I was shocked.
Yeah, and that's Burger King. And they don't cook burgers that were great to begin with.
Yeah.
Burger King burgers are better than McDonald's.
Yeah, I give you that.
Most burgers are better than McDonald's burgers.
So the researchers successfully grew cow and rabbit meat from an edible. Yeah, rabbit's delicious.
I mean, I've had it, but like, wow, rabbit.
There's like we just got
They're
this
abundant.
Yeah,
That's
well, and rabbits are used for research a lot.
Or chicken.
Chickens are filthy animals. So they grew it from edible gelatin base for the first time, creating a substance that successfully mimicked the texture of natural meat, according to a new study.
So could vegans eat this?
No, because it's actual meat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a picture like that's a little meatball in a pan. Like that shit's real.
Yeah, little.
Yeah, like y'all gonna have to up that production value. Like, we're gonna be starving to death. But what's interesting is they couldn't mimic the muscle fibers and how they are, like by just growing in a petri dish. They had to basically put it in a machine that kind of mimicked a cotton candy machine.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
And they spin it basically in a centrifuge, and that caused it to spin out just like muscle fibers, which is how they got it to actually mimic it. So I don't know. It's actually really interesting. I mean, they talk about agriculture, forestry, and human land use, which includes meat production, accounted for 44% of the methane emissions between 2007 and 2016. Like, if we could reduce that down to like 30%, that'd be pretty good for the earth. So, I mean, look, I feel like this is probably inevitable at a certain point. And then like steaks and things like that, like whole pieces, that'll be a fancy commodity where you'd have to kill a cow for that, right? Because you can't mimic that necessarily. But because this is more like ground beef, basically. So, would you guys eat this?
How much is it going to cost?
That's the most American ass answer of all time.
I mean, look, if it's too expensive, fuck off. I want the real thing. First of all, I want the real thing to begin with.
Right, I get that.
Costs more.
Let's say,
fuck you.
Let's say it's not cost prohibitive.
I would try.
I would try it, but you know, I'm not trying to pay,
$9 for a thing of ground beef.
Right.
Like, I go to Costco and spend $9 for like 400 packs of ground beef. Eat like a king for a month. Yeah, it says moving forward, the goals are nutritional content, taste, texture, and affordable pricing. So yeah, obviously
that's usually in the order that they prioritize.
Yeah. Affordable pricing at the very bottom.
Market price.
Yeah, like what?
Fuck off.
Right.
Like,
I don't want a
why is there
market
no
price meatball.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, what's the price? Go to the register, ring it up. They'll tell you that. Like, nah, nice try.
I went to that place, Gangster Vegan, the other day.
Oh, I wanted to go there. Is it good?
It is.
Is it expensive?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I figured.
I had to go a vegan burrito bowl. There's a lot of meat. Well, no, there's a lot of food in there.
Yeah.
No meat.
Yeah, because they're trying to fill your ass up so you forget there's no meat in it. They're like avocado.
A bunch of roughage.
It was good. But I give them credit. And it's black owned, so that's why I went.
Yeah, I saw the article. That's on my list of places.
I couldn't tell by the name.
Gangster Vegan,
but it's within ER.
ER.
Yeah.
So you know,
I
it
mean,
could have
educated black people. Right? Come on now.
I want to sound like an ignorant asshole.
Could have been a bunch of fucking hipsters. Gangster Vegan.
Yeah.
Shut up.
We like to use the A. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, that's fine. I would like to see this take off. It'd be I think it'd be pretty cool if they can mimic every bit of the aspect. Like if it tastes a little bit different than meat, that doesn't really bother me. But if it's wildly different and I'm paying more, but I'm also being told that it's real meat, that's where the issue goes. Like, you either lie to me and you got to figure out the middle ground. But I don't have a problem with eating less meat. I think that's fine. Although I love meat, I like the earth not being on fire more. So I don't know. I'm crazy that way. Jumping right into lightning round, but before we do that, make sure you go to the nerdpocalypse.com/Amazon. Use that to buy any sort of laboratory equipment so you can make your own meat at home. We get a little bit of a kickback. You don't pay anything extra, and you can buy a CRISPR or one of those fucking things and do your own experiments if you want to. Don't do them on yourself, or do. I don't really care. I don't know you. So lightning round, Micah.
Entertainment Weekly has learned that the CW is actively developing a 1-hour project called Superman and Lois Lane for next season.
What's it about?
With Supergirl's Tyler Hoechlin?
Yeah, Hoechlin. That's his name. Yeah, no, you nailed it.
What's his name?
Hoechlin? Look,
Look. His mama named him Hoechlin. I'm calling him Hoechlin.
And Elizabeth Tulloch or Tulloch or
you're doing great this week.
Whatever. As the titular iconic DC couple. Executive producer and written by former Flash showrunner Todd Helbing, the potential show would follow the super duo as they deal with all the stress and pressures and complexities that come with working parents in today's society.
What?
Yeah, they have a baby in this project. So Superman and Lois Lane, like they are a couple.
Was he wearing a kryptonite condom or no?
No, he wasn't,
not.
because they have a child.
Yeah, then how did he not blow her back out with that super sperm? Just saying.
Look,
that seems unrealistic to me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this guy as Superman, but
he's pretty good.
That's what everyone says, and I will check this out. I will always check out a Superman project just because I like Superman, the idea of Superman, because I'm Christian, and I mean, what is Jesus but Superman?
Good Lord. A person who comes to people who get hit in the head. You know what? Never mind. Go ahead.
How tall is this dude?
I don't know. He's like a physically.
He doesn't look very tall.
He doesn't look tall at all.
No, he's not a physically intimidating guy. He's kind of physically kind of regular.
I kind of want Superman to be tall, but if you put him around a bunch of short people and then shoot from the bottom up, then I guess
perspective shooting like Lord of the Rings.
But yeah, I'll check this out. He's 6 feet.
6 feet tall. Okay.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, he's a giant. I get it.
I shouldn't be taller than Superman, but whatever.
Jimmy Olsen is taller than Superman.
Yeah, he really is.
Like significant.
Jimmy Olsen is taller and bigger than Superman.
Yeah, significantly larger than Superman.
Right, okay, this is nonsense.
I will say,
Come save me, Superman. Like, whoa, bro.
Like, I can't lift you. You too heavy. Lose some weight. But the one thing I will say about his Superman, who's been on Supergirl a number of times, he nails the personality of Superman far better than Zack Snyder wrote Henry Cavill's Superman. Far better. Yeah. I think his costume is okay. It's not my favorite, but I think he works as Superman, absolutely.
It's kind of weird to see the cape have straps.
Yeah, that's the part that bothers me.
And then that strap to nothing.
Yeah, that's weird.
So,
I mean, he's got the look. He's got the fucking jawline.
Yeah, he's got the face for it, which
he looks like a dork.
Yeah, he looks like a dork with,
that's
with powers, right? Yeah. But I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the first episode to see if I like it.
I'm not, but I'll listen to you telling me about it. I just CW shows. I'm
not watched
I'm
the
out.
CW show since like episode 4 of Black Lightning.
I made it to episode 1.
I
3 or
finished.
4.
I was like halfway through episode 2 of Black Lightning, and I was like, I get it. And then I think I stopped at season 3 of The Flash.
I went a little bit longer than that. I think I want to say season 4, and then I was.
What was the episode with like King Shark? What season was that?
That was probably the last one I saw.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, that looks fine for television.
Yeah, it did.
I don't give a fuck anymore.
And you were like,
yeah, and just like all of the shows, I'm just like, I'm gonna head out.
What season was Savitar? That's the one where I was just
that's the one that broke for me. It broke it. Like,
I was just like, I'm done.
I finished that season, and then they came back, and I still felt a way about the Savitar being in that entire previous season. I was like, I'm still mad.
Yeah,
I'm post mad from last season. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I didn't finish that season.
It was bad. I feel like that was season 4 or 5. I can't remember.
Next up, a Green Lantern live action series is headed to HBO Max. So Greg Berlanti, super producer, is creating a bunch of DC projects, and one of them is Green Lantern for HBO Max. Berlanti pulled back the curtain on what they have planned as part of the HBO Max Warner Media Day. During that presentation, spoke of a project called Strange Adventures and the new Green Lantern inspired series. Berlanti led into his pitch for Green Lantern by saying, quote, "In what promises to be our biggest DC show ever made, we will be going to space with a Green Lantern television series, but I can't reveal much more than that just yet." Okay, going to space, that makes sense. Let's hope they don't X-Men that shit and be like, we're going to space and we're coming right back.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of need Green Lantern to be in space because he's a space cop.
Yeah, he is. Look, okay. At first hearing
Max, what is this?
That's the Warner Brothers streaming service.
So is it gonna have a bigger budget than like?
Well, I hope so.
I feel like it should have to have a bigger budget than the CW.
You
shows.
cannot do Green Lantern.
You can't go to space on a
CW budget.
On a network TV budget.
Yeah, no boys in space.
That's about as close you're gonna get. So that's my concern, right? Like, in first hearing about this, I was immediately like, oh, Greg Berlanti, this is a CW show. This is a Green Lantern show on CW. This is a bad idea. But it's on HBO Max, so I assume that the budget will be much bigger. That being said, if the budget, I looked this up because I wasn't quite sure. The talk is that the budgets for the CW shows is like $25 million for a whole season, more or less. Sometimes maybe $30 million.
At like 24 episodes,
right?
So it's like $1 million an episode.
Yeah, sometimes a little over that. Like the Flash apparently has a much bigger budget than Arrow because the Flash has much more special effects, right? Like apparently the special effects budget for Arrow is 1/10 of what it is for Flash, right?
Special effects, like goddamn.
Right, exactly. There really isn't any, right? It's very little. So at HBO Max, I got to imagine, like, if they are doing this and it's supposed to be like to the level of like The Mandalorian that we're going to talk about later, or to the level of the Marvel movies, those are like $15 million an episode shows. If it's that level, okay, I think you can pull it off. If it's anywhere close to the CW level, I am incredibly dubious as to how they're going to pull this off. So I'll just have to wait and see. And I'm not negative on this at all because I think Berlanti he's proven himself to actually know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I do find his shows to be rather cookie cutter, and I'm hoping that they don't do that with this, right? Like I didn't say it during the Superman story, but like, is Superman going to have a team? You know,
I mean, he kind of already does with Lois Lane. Like, that's the start of it.
No, but I mean, like,
I know.
Hey, like,
guy in the chair,
right? Like, hey, Bizarro's coming. Like,
right?
Like, he doesn't need that. So, like, and also Green Lantern doesn't need that either.
Does Supergirl have a team?
Yes, she does.
Well, there you go.
Right, she works with a government agency with her sister and stuff like that. So it's
she don't need a fucking team.
No, and every Cam, who watches all of these shit shows, I'm just teasing. He said that Batwoman doesn't have a team, but I'm like, it's the first season. Like they work up to that. Like sometimes they give them a team right away, but I don't think Arrow had a team right away. Like I think they slowly build that team over the season, and my guess is that if that happens with Superman, you're going to see that happen with Green Lantern too.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for Green Lantern, right? Like if you do the way I envision a Green Lantern television series
is the Green Lantern core.
Is the core.
Right.
It's a police procedural with powers.
That I have no problem with.
That's what sense. I want.
Right. That makes total sense.
That's what gets me excited. If it's centered around one Green Lantern, no, it should be about the core, and you should have an ensemble group of people or creatures or whatever, coming together to solve cases or whatever. Like that's what it needs to be. I
would think that would be the move.
I hope it's the move. If it's not the move, I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, because it seems like I wouldn't say an easy thing to do, but the core of the show and how the show is designed is kind of a home run, right? Like,
right.
It's a police procedural. Call Dick Wolf.
Thank you. That's it. Yeah.
Just get him to come in and be like, all right, tell us your idea. Cool. We're going to do all this in space, though. And he'd be like, all right, whatever. I'm just collecting checks.
Law and Order, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Green Lantern PD, Green Lantern Med, Green Lantern Fire, right. All that shit. Green Law and Lantern Order, all that shit.
Every episode should end with the cha-chunk chunk. Like, that's fine. That's fine. If Dick Wolf is not consulted on this show, you've messed up. You have. He's on Dick Wolf has a show on TV at any moment in time. Somewhere.
Yeah, that's probably fucking true.
Yeah, dude.
For like the last 40 years.
Yo, he's a force. Like when people say, "Oh, Marvel and Disney is a monopoly." No, talk about Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf is a monopoly on fucking primetime television. It's insane. It's crazy. Also, I was listening to a podcast today, and they're just like. And fucking Ice-T comes on. He's like, "Do you like Law and Order?" I was like,
"Yeah, Law and Order podcast."
There's a Law and Order podcast now. I was like, and then they played the fucking cha-cha. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna listen." God damn it, you got me, Ice-T. You got me. Yeah. So I think the move. I think you're right. Is a police procedural. I think that's the way. And look, I'll watch it because we'll talk about. Well, it's not on the docket, but they released a price for HBO Max, which is $14.99, which is the same price for HBO Now. And if you have HBO Now, HBO Max is free.
What if you subscribe to HBO through your cable provider?
So you'd have HBO Go.
HBO Go.
Then I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's your problem. That's not my problem. But I don't know. They didn't get into that detail.
No,
but they did.
Look, I would just I paid $10 a month for HBO, and it comes with HBO Go. I would just drop HBO. And just get HBO Max for an extra $5.
Right. And the nice thing is they're bundling all of the DC shows are all going to be on HBO Max too, right? Like I wanted to watch Doom Patrol. I hear it's really good. I wanted to watch Swamp Thing. I hear that was pretty good. Like I want to watch those shows, but I don't want to get the DC app. Get out of here. No. I'm not buying that. Give a fuck enough for that.
None of that stuff is coming on DC app?
No, I think they're available there too. I think they're kind of doing in both places.
See, yeah, exactly. This is stupid.
This is why you shouldn't have done that. Right. No, I know.
I thought the DC app wait. I thought the DC app was done.
No, they're keeping it around. There was rumors of that, but they're keeping it around. Because now you can get comics on there too.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's fine. Just roll it all in.
No.
Yeah, roll it all into HBO.
Like, I
Max.
feel like I should get the DC Comics as well in HBO Max. Like, I feel like I should.
Yes.
They're not going to give me that, but I feel like I deserve that. Because I'm paying $15 a month.
Yeah.
By the way, if you have Hulu, HBO Max, and like Netflix, well, what else do you need? Like, really? Like, I have so many shows right now, and I don't. Oh, in Disney Plus. Like,
But y'all already paid for that.
no, I know, but I'm saying, what else do you need? People are like, oh, but what about Apple TV? Look, I'm just gonna miss shows, yo. Like, there's just too. I don't have time to watch the shit that's out.
I heard that Jennifer Aniston show on Apple TV is pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know she had a television show.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why Marvel isn't calling you, Jennifer. Maybe
Wait,
because you-
Apple TV is out already?
No,
No, it
but
comes
people
out
have.
in-
Oh, they've got the little.
Yeah,
their sneak peeks and shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
that's the one
previews
with
and shit
Steve
like that.
Carell.
Is Steve Carell in that?
Yeah.
Well, sorry,
And Reese
buddy.
Witherspoon is in that.
Sorry.
Oh, I have a really funny line to read out of an article later that will make you laugh about Apple TV. But yeah, so look, I'm cautiously optimistic about a Green Lantern TV show. I'm not going to say I'm negative on it at all. I do think it's funny that we're getting a Green Lantern TV show before we're getting a Green Lantern movie.
You know what? Fine. I'm fine with it. We got a Green Lantern movie.
Okay.
That's true.
Here,
I didn't see. I still haven't seen it. I don't think I need to.
You don't really need to. It's not the worst thing in the world.
it's
but
pretty bad, dude.
Comparing it to like it's too late. It's too late. Like you've already seen like the
Endgame.
pinnacle.
Best that you can fucking possibly
Yeah,
see.
you
At
will.
this point.
You will be angry watching that movie. Like that, that movie is like you had to work your way through garbage. We had to fight our way through garbage, walk to school uphill both ways before we got to Endgame. You're just skipping. You skipped all the way to Endgame. You're like, well, this is really great. No. Slow down. Go back. You gotta watch
They
Green
fight
Lantern.
a monster that literally looks like a floating cloud of shit.
with toilet paper coming in.
It's bad.
It's
yo.
real bad.
It's bad.
Wasn't like the majority of it CGI?
Yeah,
like
it was
90% of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
His whole suit was CGI.
That
Like,
was a financial mistake.
His whole suit was CGI, even the domino mask. And I'm like, yo,
For
this
what?
looks stupid, yo. Like, come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a turd. It's a giant space
Like
turd.
the fucking.
Look at that.
Yep, that's Parallax.
Yep, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it looked like in the
Sounds,
comic.
That sounds like something that you need to take to get rid of that.
A big shit from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh my god, this movie is so fucking terrible. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do with this. Go to the next story because there's some other stuff to this that's kind of interesting too.
HBO Max set to launch another show featuring the character of Adam Strange. It's called Strange Adventures. This is another one that will be produced by Greg Berlanti. From this article, as far as we can tell, Strange, a cosmic hero from DC's Silver Age, who most recently appeared on Krypton, played by Supernatural alum Sean Sipos, will not appear in Strange Adventures, which will instead be an anthology series that introduces a wide variety of DC characters to the streaming platform audience. Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't have Adam Strange in it then, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
His costume looks really stupid.
That's a Silver Age comic, man. Like that's what they thought the future looked like.
yeah,
Fucking ray guns and antenna coming out of their guns. You know what I mean?
yeah, cool stuff.
So yeah. Look, this is a thing. I have no opinion of it. So
I don't know.
I do enjoy an anthology. You know,
Yeah.
I just don't know what it's
like
what it's
Fargo.
going to be about. So.
Yeah, I like Fargo. It's great.
Next up, this fucking thing is terrible. HBO Max set to create original films. In a recent report at Variety, They say that Warner Brothers hopes to produce 8 to 10 movies for the streaming service that will include tapping into the DC universe. HBO Max, quote, HBO Max is expected to lean heavily on Warner Brothers to supply it with exclusive content. The subscription service hopes the studio will provide it with 8 to 10 movies, a number that could ramp up over time. Some of these productions could be tentpole sized with healthy budgets that could rival those of major feature films. Eventually,
that was rude.
Eventually, productions will likely hail from the DC universe, Warner Media's in-house comic book division, as it looks for compelling content. You ready to see? Is this the future of where comic book movies go?
So that's an interesting question. I don't know.
If comic book movies begin to wane,
that's where they will go.
This is 100% what they will do.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Like you could get smaller, I mean, not necessarily super small budgets, but you could do decent sized budgets. You know people are going to watch it if they got the service, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah. You have a kind of a built-in audience.
Yeah, because, the people that are subscribing to this stuff probably like your comic book movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we talked about the giant poop monster from Green Lantern. So here's the question though. Like this, I think your point is like, is this the future of comic book movies if things wane? Yeah, I would agree. But the other point, like the overall topic tonight in many ways is streaming services, right? Like there's a tons of stories. We're having all of these conversations about this person's had a streaming service, this person has one, we're doing original content, we're doing original movies, we're doing original TV, all this other stuff. So what's going to be considered cinema then? Right? Because if cinema is no longer things that, if they don't come out in the movies...
Which is a stupid...
argument.
Right.
Right? Like, I think that's dumb. But what then becomes cinema? Like, you've got all these big wig actors who are going to be in these movies and these original content TV shows. Are all of their work bullshit now? It's all bullshit? Like, was it the Emmys or television?
Yeah, the Emmys are television.
Are the Emmys now going to be more powerful than an Oscar?
Oscars?
I mean, one could make an argument that there's more competition now in television. I'll talk about a story later on. There are 500 original scripted TV shows this year. 500.
And one could argue like television. Yeah, I'm not going to say surpassed
fucking television.
Cinema.
Yeah, it's in the golden age.
Television is killing the
right
movie
there.
theater.
If
Right.
like actually no, I think television might be beating.
It is
For quality?
Yeah.
For quality? Absolutely.
Because there's more of it.
It's easily
and it's
accessible.
Just as good.
Yeah.
And it's
Better.
Like,
Yeah,
it's better, Harry.
I guess
You saw Harriet. I would say you should have taken your time and just stayed home and watched Criminal, because that show's really good. And I don't even speak the language in half of the episodes, and it's amazing.
And you're getting movie stars on television.
But
so
and that's the thing, right? Like all these movie stars are like, "Yo, I can just be on this show for 10 episodes, and then I take a break."
It's more like it's more steady work. You know what I mean?
It is more steady work. That's a good point.
Scorsese said that like the big budget like action movies and the comic book movies are not cinema. But what's his movie?
He's kind of walked that back. By the way.
What about like Francis Ford Coppola?
He said,
Francis Ford
Coppola is just like
you produced Jeepers Creepers. Knock it off.
No, but like, his newest movie is on Netflix.
Of course. So is that not cinema?
So is that not like it's a 3.5 hour movie? However the fuck long it is.
His thing.
I think
is
it's
not,
like 340.
Or is it? His
His thing is not
like,
the fact that it's on Netflix. His thing is the fact that. And this is what he elaborate. The third week of fucking talking about this shit.
Yeah.
He elaborated. He said, "Well, look, I'm not dissing the theme park movies. Like, every once in a while, the family likes to go to a theme park, right, to have a good time. What I'm saying is, I don't want the theme park movies, the big spectacle movies, the big tentpole movies, to push out the stories of just people talking. Like
but I don't think
that's what he's
going
afraid
to
of.
Do that.
No, they're not going to do that. They do that in the summertime.
We had tentpole movies.
Right.
No, Jurassic Park came out in 1992, my nigga.
Right. Like, come on, man.
Like,
Right.
it's been like 20, 30 years.
Right. Like it's like I don't understand.
People don't want to pay money to sit into an expensive theater to listen to a drama. That's a fact.
I mean, look, it's
a fact.
They do in the wintertime when those movies come out.
Right. Well, that's true.
But when the kids are home during the summer, like they want some fucking whiz bang shit, man. And I don't understand why
shut
people
these kids
don't,
up for 2 hours. I'm tired.
I don't understand why they don't get this, man. Like the big summer blockbuster movies are the ones that keep the studios afloat so they can do the
Motherless Brooklyn and all this other stuff.
Right, like so they can do all that winter shit.
I mean, now the blockbusters are coming out in like January.
Well, that's
his problem. That's his issue.
Came out.
He like, whoa. January was
that's supposed to be my month, my nigga. Like, what are you doing?
November,
Like,
we trying to get ready. We trying to get ready for the Oscars. What the fuck are y'all doing here?
Right.
Look, we allow Harry Potter every couple of years. Relax. Oh, Star Wars is coming out. Fuck you.
That's his problem. That's his problem.
But I think there is another issue that Scorsese has. And I get it, but I need people to, like, one thing I don't like, if you got a problem with this thing, stop talking about this thing, because that's not really your issue. I think he has a problem with the fact that the only place that would pick up The Irishman was Netflix.
Yeah, you know why?
Because it's 3 hours and fucking 45 minutes.
Right.
What
and that's
supposed to
3
do
hours and 45 minutes.
There for 4 hours, yeah.
No.
That's 3 hours and 45 minutes of runtime that could go to
2 movies.
Right, 2 movies that will make more money.
Right. And look, I can't wait to see The Irishman. I'm really excited.
Right.
And I will see it over 2 fucking sittings probably, but at home. I'm not sitting in a theater next. Look, we went and saw Dark Fate, and people behind us are just talking, running their mouth. I don't want to deal with that. I want to listen to the dialogue. I want to hear what they have to say. I want to enjoy that process.
Well,
right?
The people that would be going to see that movie in a theater are not going to be talking.
Maybe. I don't trust it.
I would hope not. Like, that's not a movie you go to have to hang out with your homeboys and go see The Irishman.
No,
that would make no fucking sense.
No, I agree with you. But people are complete because of home movies and home television. They forget when they watch. They forget that they're not at home.
Don't underestimate.
What did I see? Fences. We went to see Fences. There was this couple in front of us, yo. They were just obnoxious for no reason. Like, nigga, it's Fences.
Right.
Shut up.
Like, never underestimate anybody, no matter what your age, your creed, your color. Never underestimate people's ability to be obnoxious.
Correct.
And
that's true.
Like, I've been to plenty of movies in Bethesda, the most uppity part of fucking Maryland, and these old white people are there and just talking at full volume because their hearing is going. So they got to talk, they got to hear themselves talk, and they got to talk over the movie. Like, it's all of us. And you need to stop. If you talk during a movie, like, you're uncouth and your mama didn't raise you right.
So The Irishman is 3.5 hours long.
Now look.
Jesus Christ.
Look.
Like, I saw fucking...
Endgame was 3 hours. A solid 3 hours.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So,
but I didn't feel it
too for some fucking reason
because of the pacing. Now look, I haven't seen, the pacing was well done. Now look, I haven't seen The Irishman.
It's not Endgame.
Right.
Like, and that's not a degradation of Scorsese or The Irishman or all of the fucking fantastic actors that are going to be in this movie. I'm super excited. It's just not the same type of movie.
Right.
It's just not. Like you said, Endgame is a whiz bang movie, right? Like, it is.
Even if you get tired during Endgame, whiz bang, like, oh shit, I'm up again.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen during The Irishman.
Yeah. Somebody's going to get shot every 40 minutes. You'd be like, that was cool. But like, is there going to be a guy who's going to get 60 feet tall and punch a space snake for him? I don't think so.
But that's
yes, and Casino's long as fuck.
But that goes again to his point, right? Like, are these whiz bang movies
making us dumb?
Making us stupid? Like, we don't have the attention span?
No, people are already dumb.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with it.
And again, the people that are going to see to want to watch The Irishman, they want to see that, so they're going to pay attention.
Right.
Like, the people that are not going to go see that weren't going to go see it in the movie theater, either way.
Right. You're not going to pull the kids to go see The Irishman. You're not.
No.
Like, your movies have a specific group of people that like them.
Right. And they're generally 70-year-old white men. Like,
you're a 90-year-old
you make
man.
what you...
You just make a bunch of Italian gangster movies.
Right. And I'm excited for that.
They're good, but like, come on, dude.
And from early reviews, The Irishman is incredible.
Yeah, it's excellent. And I'm not surprised.
I can't imagine it. Yeah,
it's fucking Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. Yeah, I'm gonna see it. Yeah. All right, yeah, like shocking news. But it's just the idea of these things are like one-to-one examples. Like, they're not. Like, no. Like, it's okay to make The Irishman. It's okay to have Endgame. And they're both cinema. They're just different types of cinema.
Yeah, that's
like
all.
they just
because those make more money.
I mean, right?
I don't even think he cares, right?
I think he's solely mad that he couldn't bring out The Irishman, and they were like, "Yeah, we're putting it in the theaters." Yo, it's 3.5 hours, nigga. That's like Schindler's List. Yeah. I think Schindler's List is shorter. Actually,
how long was The Hateful Eight?
3 hours.
Because that had I went to it when that had an intermission.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Yeah. And it was great, but
it's a good movie, and that's a movie where it's just a whole bunch of fucking talking.
It's just acting, like it's just acting. There's not a lot. There's no whiz bang at all. There's a couple, but
there's like two,
right? But that's it.
All dialogue. And that movie's great.
And the thing is, I like those type of movies. You like those type of movies, but not everybody does. Like, Tarantino is actually a perfect example of a modern director who is able to do movies that are like acting movies, and they're still popular.
Yeah.
So, like,
watched Pulp Fiction like last week.
I haven't seen his new movie just only because I've been busy.
The Hateful Eight has 3 different showings. The longest is 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one I saw. Yeah.
Wow.
The 70mm one, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It was fucking
210 minutes. 210 minutes. That's
and The Irishman is 209 minutes. So it is what it is. What's the name? Scorsese's other film that he did with Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that was long.
That was 3 hours. Yeah. I saw that in theaters. I sat down and I did not realize that was 3 hours. I was like, oh, I saw on a screening, and I was like, how long was it? I was like, 3 hours? What the fuck? And I was like, you know what? I enjoyed the shit out of it. I did. But I can understand why theaters are not putting those type of movies in. One, it's The Irishman, so it's a much older audience, I would imagine. 2, it eats up more time.
Yeah, you want to have as many screenings as possible.
Right.
Which is crazy that fucking Endgame made as much money as it did because it's a 3-hour movie.
Right.
But it was playing on like a trillion fucking theaters. So.
Well, that's also...
And it had the benefit of, 10 years of hype.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but like, he's Scorsese. He should have auto hype, right?
You would think.
Yeah, you would think. But
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. And we can have everything. We can have all types of movies, guys.
So what's ironic is The Irishman, while
3:30. Damn.
It's a long ass movie.
Time, man.
Right. I'm like, yo, I'm going to have to watch this over 2 days. I'm just going to. But
it's half a work day, yo.
It really is.
Really think about that.
Yeah. Like, oh, what you been doing all day? I watched The Irishman.
All right, time to go to lunch.
Like, check. We're done. So at the same time that Martin Scorsese is saying, maybe these movies aren't cinema, da-da-da-da-da. While he's saying that and he's making The Irishman, people are like, wow, The Irishman's amazing. Fucking Steven Spielberg is like, The Irishman isn't cinema because it didn't come out in the theaters. Right. It's on Netflix. Right. What the fuck?
Right.
That's how stupid.
Apple TV
right.
Now,
that's how stupid you sound. You, Steven Spielberg, are going to tell Martin Scorsese his shit ain't a real movie. Yo, fuck you, yo. Like, this is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Now, you know, if I'm Martin Scorsese, I'm going to call Steven Spielberg out like, bitch, my shit's on Netflix. So what? I've made movies that are far better than yours.
He didn't back away from that?
No,
Steven Spielberg?
I don't think so. No.
I feel like if I'm Martin Scorsese, you throw hands with Steven Spielberg. I call him up, be like, yo,
cinema. It ain't on the big screen.
Like, but it had a limited release. Yeah, I know, but it was still on Netflix. Like, all right,
old white man are wilding.
Yeah, y'all need to go away.
Next up, this article is funny. Perhaps the fact that Netflix is bracing for the release of Martin Scorsese's 3.5-hour epic The Irishman has nothing to do with this, but we're going to assume that the streaming service is testing a new variable playback speed feature in its mobile app for some reason. So, according to a report from Android Police, some users on Google's mobile operating system have noticed a new feature in their Netflix app that would allow a film or TV series to be played at variable speeds from 50 up to 150% regular speed. Why on earth would Netflix test a function that allows users to watch a film at a faster speed than usual? Well, apparently people nowadays just don't have the time to watch content at the intended pace. Movies are just too damn slow. Am I right?
I'll do that for podcasts.
Yeah, people do that for
podcasts. I'll do 1.5 times speed.
Do you?
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't.
Because it doesn't sound crazy until you get like 2. Like, it sounds a little weird, but like once you get to 2 times, you're like,
once you get to
relax.
2, it's ridiculous.
It's just a squirrel. It's a squirrel yelling.
1.5 is fine.
Yeah,
it's still a weird, but like it's like.
I guess
if I started at 1.5 and don't hear 1, I'm fine. But if I hear it at normal speed and then change it, I
turn this fucking Chipmunks Christmas special over.
I feel like I started listening to an audio version of Michelle Obama's book, and the way she speaks is at a very like tempered pace.
Yeah, her and Obama speak the same fucking way.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I feel like I should do that at 1.5 speed. Like I probably would enjoy it more because I'm like, get to the point. Like, let's go. You're very smart. I know this. But I'm going to die before you get to the point of the story. Yeah, some people are mad about this. I'm like, they're not forcing you to do it.
Yeah, just don't do it. That's all.
Yeah, like you turn on Netflix and you're like, yo, why is everything at 1.5 speed? God, what's Netflix's problem? Look, if you want to watch a movie at 1.5 speed,
weird. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. That seems odd, like filming and everything. But
everything is moving faster. Like, no thanks.
Yeah. I like
voice. It's fine,
but I like things. I like to watch movies. I don't need to try to watch them in the shortest time possible.
Yeah, if you are, boy, this is the most first world problem there ever is.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, this movie is so long. I need to see it. No, you don't. But I just don't have the time.
So you don't
what
need to
am I
watch
gonna do? This movie that is being beamed to me from space to my personal handheld computer is taking too long.
Yes, that's correct.
YouTube has various.
I'm tired of waiting.
You can put YouTube videos on 1.5.
Nah,
that's so fucking stupid.
Last up, it is officially confirmed by Matt Reeves, the director of The Batman, that Jeffrey Wright is Commissioner Gordon.
Good. Yes.
So there you go. There's a high probability that not only will Catwoman be a black woman, but Batgirl as well.
There you go. Or Puerto Rican, as we learned. Jeffrey Wright can do whatever he wants. Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm glad. There's only
start shooting.
I think it's later this year, or like. I want to say maybe fall or just like early spring or something like that. So, because I think it's a 2021 release, I think, something like that, which is a super crazy year. All right, movie and TV news this week. Star Wars setback as Game of Thrones duo David Benioff and D.B. Wise exit their proposed trilogy. So this is kind of an interesting story just because there's sort of conflicting stories here. Some people believe that these guys left because they got a $200 million deal from Netflix. Deuces?
Right, 200 mil?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, yeah.
The report is that they left because they were like, look, this is conflicting with what we're trying to do over at Netflix. Another story that seems to be pushed is that they left because Disney saw the reaction to the end of Game of Thrones from fans, and they were just like, no, we don't want these guys around. There's no real, I don't care where you read it, there's no confirmation either way, right? Like, there was a woman who was like apparently a writer and did a bunch of reporting for Vanity Fair on Game of Thrones. And she was on a podcast recently and said that it was Disney who dumped them because of the response. And then she came out and people were like, oh, see? And then she came out today. She was like, that was just like my speculation. I didn't mean for that to be taken as a fact. So she doesn't know either. So who knows? They're no longer doing Star Wars. Another theory is that they decided that they didn't want to jump into another huge franchise out of Game of Thrones and then just jump into Star Wars. That could also be true too. I don't know. Are you guys upset about this? Do you not care, or what are your thoughts?
You know, I don't really care. Like, I thought Game of Thrones was fine. I'm not like a hardcore Game of Thrones fan. Mm-hmm. I have my own issues with the last season, but these two guys coming out recently and being like, yeah, we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah. That's a wild interview, dude.
That ain't really helping your cause there, guys. Right. We're just gonna throw Game of Thrones together because we didn't give a shit. Like, all right, that's not really gonna. That's not how you get jobs, guys.
It's not going to ingratiate you with anyone.
Right.
Are they talking about the entire series or like the last 2 seasons?
I think people took it as them talking about the entire series, at least.
I mean, y'all loved it for the first 5 seasons, or 7, or however many. Well, how many was 8? Yeah, I loved the first 6,
but like. That was kind of my point when people were just like, see. I'm like, but y'all liked it, though.
It could be like they were going off of what's his name's books.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, which is true, but like they still had to adapt it to the screen.
No, those books are mad complex.
Yeah,
it's a book, yo.
And those are the type of books that like mad thick that I don't read.
They thick ass books with teeny tiny font, yo. Like that's
it's single space, my nigga. It's single space.
Worst.
Who wants to read that? But yeah, I do think it's funny. People were like, "See, they didn't know anything." I'm like, but see, you liked it though, so I don't really buy that as that much of an argument.
Yeah, I was all in Game of Thrones up until when Joffrey died. When Joffrey died, I got all the catharsis I needed, and I didn't really care about anything else. Like I was just watching it just to be part of the zeitgeist.
Yeah, you were cool with the kid murder.
Yeah, absolutely. That kid was a prick.
Oh no, he needed to die.
Yeah, he needed to die.
I even saw that. He was a dickhead.
Yeah. Now when he died, it was like
that nigga was hated so much people wanted to fight him in the street.
Yeah, right. We hate your guts. Yo, I'm an actor. Yo, just relax. But look, that goes to how good he was in that role. Like,
what has he been in since?
You don't need to be in nothing. He got all that Game of Thrones money.
He was a little kid in one of them Batman movies, and one of them Christian.
Yeah, he was in Batman Begins.
Yeah, he was in Batman Begins. Like, oh, this little kid. And like, nah, Joffrey.
Yeah, he grew up to be a
fucking
dick.
Prick.
And he
was Malfoy?
No, that's a different guy.
Are you sure? Because they look a lot
that's a different kid.
Oh, okay.
Who's also a kid that people were like, I want to fight you. Like,
right.
No, that kid was on, he grew up and he was on The Flash for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Draco Malfoy. He was not playing Draco Malfoy, but maybe he was. I
mean,
you'll always be Draco Malfoy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, this is, I think it's funny. Like I read the people's responses to the Game of Thrones stuff. I just think it's hilarious. Like, I hated this show the whole time. Like, but you watched 8 seasons, my nigga. What are you talking about? You didn't hate it.
I watched the entirety of True Blood just because I felt like I had to finish it.
No.
But that wasn't really good at all after like season 2.
Yeah, that's when I stopped watching it.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it.
Nah,
but I'm not gonna say that I loved it.
How many seasons of True Blood were there?
I think it was like 4.
Yeah, I'm not giving up an hour. I'm not giving up 20 hours of my time for a show I don't like. There's no. I have a hard enough time giving up an hour of my time for a show I do like let alone anything else. So we'll see. I don't know what these guys are going to do. We'll talk about them more in the question of the week. But I mean, a lot of people are like, I'm never watching anything by these guys ever again. I'm like,
until it's good.
You're full of shit. Like, Damon Lindelof is the perfect example. People said the same shit about Lost. I hated the end of Lost. I hate it. Hey, did you check out Watchmen? Yo, it's the best show ever. It's weird.
That show was so good.
It is. Yeah, their previous work is not indicative of their future work. It's just not. Now, if they just keep bombing on things, okay, that's different. But yeah, they've got one thing under their belt.
How did they become like writing duos?
Just your buddy. You do a spec script together, and people are like, "Oh, turns out there's a lot more of them."
It's weird to me. Like this is like a writing duo.
I think those are the best type of like
they just bounce ideas off of each other. And they come with like one focused script, but it's just I don't know, it's just kind of weird.
I mean, they're directing duos too, right? Some good, some bad. You know,
Neville Dean Taylor is a good one, right?
Lord and Miller, bad. Yeah. That's how I would put them in two different buckets. Neville Dean and Taylor, they're actually better together than they are apart.
Oh yeah, and that is not a compliment.
No, because you know what?
It's like the folks with that did
the John Wick movies.
John Wick, right?
They're 100% better together.
Yeah.
I have a hard time watching a David Leitch movie. Oh, it's really good.
Hobbs and Shaw, right?
Yep.
Oh,
it just doesn't do it for me.
It's just kind of there. Like it doesn't have. It's missing like a soul.
I was thinking kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Like it's just missing something.
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he did Deadpool 2, and it's like I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but it didn't have the same punch like the first one.
I liked it, but again, it's missing
something. I don't know. And the funny thing is, I don't know what it is. Yeah. Like I can't put my finger on it. Like it's got all the elements of a successful movie, but it's just something about it that just it's not quite there. Next up, Game of Thrones prequel has been killed off. This one, this is the one that was starring Naomi Watts, I believe. So they were just like, nah, we're good.
Why did you need one?
You don't, but the funny thing is they canceled this one, but then they greenlit another one. So this is, I guess, a general prequel to Game of Thrones. But then they gave their green light to this other one, which I'll talk about. One called House of Dragons, which got a straight to series order from HBO, which is interesting. This one tells the story of House Targaryen. It's the story of the fight between Rhaenyra Targaryen. It's just way too many fucking random letters together. And her half brother Aegon for control over the Seven Kingdoms. Both of them thought they belonged on the Iron Throne. When people started declaring for one of them over the other, their fight divided the kingdoms in two. Brothers fought brothers, dragons fought dragons. By the time it was over, thousands were dead. So they're going back to this. Do you think another Game of Thrones show is going to work? Now, this is not Benioff and Weiss. They're not involved in this.
Like,
because I feel like people were saying they're not fucking with Game of Thrones anymore, and I feel like, again, until it comes on television, then you're like, that fucking theme music comes on, they drag your ass right back in.
Like they say they're not gonna watch it. Like I don't give a fuck. I never finished the first one. But they're gonna check out the first episode. But the thing about the show isn't it all about the characters?
Yeah.
Like if the characters suck, then like I don't know who do they know who these people are? Are these from the books?
Yeah, these are from the books. So there was a book, a companion book called Fire and Blood, which is
one. So that's what this is based off of.
Yeah, that's what this is based off of.
So it's got a one-off, like one season type thing, or
well, it's got a straight to series order that consists of 10 episodes, but there is not talk that it's limited. I mean, my guess is it's a fucking George R.R. Martin book, so it's mad thick. So it's probably going to take more than just one season to do it. So. We'll see. Micah, are you watched through the end? Do you want to see a House Targaryen television show?
No, the Targaryens are weird, man.
Oh, blonde haired?
Yeah, they're weird. I don't trust blondes, and
it's rude.
Yeah, they're just kind of they go crazy. Like that's their whole thing, right?
Yeah, high probability.
Yeah. Look, if it catches fire amongst the populace and everybody says it's good, fine. But like I said, after Joffrey died, I was just kind of going through the motions.
Sure.
So if you got another prick little white boy that you promise you're gonna kill, then then I'll watch it.
Yep. Good. Next up, Sony is closing PlayStation Vue. It's pay TV streaming service you never use. Oh, I didn't even see that fucking headline. That's fucked up.
That's funny. God damn.
So this is sad news for Brad over at Dense Pixels as the lone user of
I did
PlayStation Vue.
The trial for it, 7 days.
Yeah.
It's live television. It's fine.
Yeah, would you
it works. Huh?
And then did you never turn it on?
No. Because I don't watch TV. The only reason why was because MSNBC was on it.
That's fair.
And then I was like, oh, I got to pay how much a month? Fuck you. I'll just go ahead and watch these on YouTube. When they come on an hour later after the show goes off.
Yeah,
I'll be fine.
Yeah, pretty much. Micah,
that's how much of a fanboy Brad is. Brad knows in his heart of hearts that PlayStation Vue is a bunch of bullshit. But he was trying, man. He was hanging on, trying to make this shit work.
Didn't he have YouTube Red too?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he has YouTube Red.
Oh, is that what he does have?
He does have YouTube Red.
Yeah, he does have YouTube Red. But, no. Brad tried to get me to get PlayStation Vue. Yeah, just get PlayStation Vue. Nah, I'll keep paying my exorbitant cable prices. Me paying exorbitant cable prices means that it ain't going nowhere. You go ahead and keep paying your little cheap ass fake streaming service. Should have disappeared within a year. You'll be dead in a year. That's what Joe Clark said to that one kid. You'll be dead in a year. And he died. Just like PlayStation Vue. That kid's name was PlayStation. His last name was Vue.
I find it hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious that anyone had this. But I find it particularly hilarious because Brad did. His only response to this was, fuck. Yep, that's what.
What else can you say?
Just get Hulu, dog. Isn't that basically the same thing as PlayStation Vue? How much was PlayStation Vue?
Too much.
Was it like $40?
It was something like that. It was like $30 a month. I'm like, nigga, you crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's all you want is a bunch of live TV, then I guess that works fine for you. I don't care about live TV.
You can get the access plan for $50 a month.
$50.
Yeah.
Well, that's what live TV costs. Like Hulu live TV is like $45.
Oh.
So he could switch to Hulu live TV and be good. Here's an idea: don't get live TV. I mean, I think it only matters for people who really want sports and things like that. Like I know Hulu has. I had Hulu live TV just for a couple of days, just because where I was at my in-laws' house and they didn't have access to watch the World Series, so we tried to pull it up on that, but and then that didn't work because fuck you.
I repackaged myself, and that dude wanted me to get TV so bad. He was like, "You watch sports?" I'm like, "No." Like football? You don't watch football? Like, no.
You're black. You sure you don't watch football?
Like basketball? I was like, no, nigga, I don't watch TV.
Come on,
your local your local news? No,
I read the paper.
I just want the internet. That's it. Jesus Christ, he was pissing me off. I was like, no, I don't watch television.
That's so funny. Your local news?
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no, that's incredibly depressing.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, I stay to national news where it's safe.
I was like, I stream everything. And he made me get the whatever.
That's hilarious. Your local news?
How the fuck is that a go-to?
Right.
What?
He's like, I gotta get it. This guy
ain't got nothing else.
Yeah. That's when you're down to your last options. All right, I tried.
You don't watch Eyewitness News?
Like, no, I don't.
You don't want to find out what's on the Doppler 3000 or whatever? Who cares?
I was arguing for like 5 minutes. I'm like, nigga, I'm about to hang up.
How do you know what the weather's going to be if you don't watch Marty Bass in the morning?
Yeah, I think I'll figure it out on my own.
It's like, it's 75 degrees.
I don't need you. Yeah, the idea of getting like local television is a waste of time and money. I don't give a fuck about
antenna.
Yeah, you can. They're like
$5 antenna, and bam, you got all your local stations.
You can get a digital antenna. Like if you want to get a nice one with like really long range for like $25 on Amazon, stick it on your window. You're good. Yeah. You never need to get any of the rest of that.
Bounce and all that shit.
Bounce.
Yeah.
I know what bounce. I know what bounce is.
That's part of local television.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like channel 24.
Right.
Wow. I haven't had a TV with a dial on it in fucking.
It's like channel 24.2.
Right. I haven't had a TV with like. I've had streaming for so long. Like I haven't had a television with an actual physical dial or like gone up on the channels. Like I don't do that. Like, I know up on a channel on a Roku. I just hit the box that looks like Netflix. That one, make it go. All right, last story. Inside the rising cost of making scripted television series. I alluded to this earlier. Apple TV launches on November 1st, which I did not realize was that soon.
God damn, it's Friday?
Yeah. Yeah, with initial offerings of the drama The Morning Show, which Micah apparently said was
people say it's trash. That first episode has been seen by people and nah.
That's unfortunate. The Morning Show bared the price tag believed to be more than $15 million an episode. And the dystopian sci-fi series C with Jason Momoa is rumored to have a cost as much of $17 million an hour. An hour.
Come on.
An hour.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's the one with all the blind folks?
Yeah.
And it just didn't look good to begin with?
That is true. Yeah, Steven Spielberg doesn't know how to pick them, does he?
Oh, that's his shit?
No, I don't know.
I was about to say.
No, but fuck him anyway. He's involved. And the following sentence I want to read because I think it's hilarious. Apple is looking to make a splash as it gets into original series business. And these shows feature A-list stars Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, and Steve Carell on Morning Show, and Jason Momoa on C with spare no expense production value. Like, I kind of read that as like A-list stars Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell. And Jason Momoa he's also on a show with special effects. I was like, it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, so I mean, basically they go into how there are just so many television shows, there's so many streaming services. It's just increasing the price. Shows like The Handmaid's Tale and Fargo have $10 million an episode budgets at this point, which used to be unheard of, which are really commonplace now.
Handmaid's Tale is Hulu?
Yeah.
God damn.
Which, by the way, Hulu has a bunch of original series, and they're all shit. They're all garbage. They're so bad. They have varying, it seems like they have an unlimited amount of things that they're pushing out, and none of them have broken through, except for Handmaid's Tale. But now they're saying that people are basically demanding, they expect the quality of movies. Chernobyl being one of them, right? Yeah. Which is definitely movie quality. They're saying the morning show costs $1.25 million per episode, which is pretty nuts. Talk about the production crunch, at least 500 original scripted series this year, according to FX boss, John Landgraf, which is absolutely insane. At launch, The Crown budgeted at $13 million per episode, with some costs earmarked for elaborate costumes. That's in like season 4. Like, that's a lot of money that they're spending, but it's because there's so much money being pulled out of the movie theaters and being so hard focused on television. It's actually kind of interesting. Like, we're getting all these great TV shows, but people don't realize, like, it is costing so much money to produce this.
That's why they're good.
That's why they are good, right? But it is interesting. Like, I wonder, they don't have a comparison, but I'd be interested to see what is the amount of money that used to be spent in the movie theater versus this, versus television, because there are so many more television shows. Just fundamentally, there are more than there are movies.
31,000 TV shows on it.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
God damn.
Did you know that there's a second season of Pennyworth coming out? Did you both know?
I didn't know that Pennyworth was out.
Yeah, neither did I.
How about that? How about I didn't know it was out? How about I didn't know it was successful enough to get a second season on Epix? Who the fuck has Epix?
Epic's metrics are probably like, somebody watched it. Get another one in there for that guy.
Check out Voodoo. I'm amazed by that. Baz Luhrmann's The Get Down that got canceled. The cost of that was $11 million an episode.
Yeah, where was the money? I mean, like that was what, licensing music.
That probably cost a lot.
I don't know how much.
I can't remember how much licensed
original music.
was
I mean, I can't remember. I don't think there was a lot of licensed music in there. I mean, like 70s shit.
How about this? Amazon's long gestating Lord of the Rings project, which is expected to be the most expensive series of all time.
$20 million an episode.
Slow down. Most expensive series of all time. Once it gets underway, it will cost, they don't know, but on top of the $250 million that the Tolkien estate made them pay to use the fucking license.
Yo.
That is insane.
Yo, that sword and sorcery shit ain't worth it. Yo.
$250 million?
You can make some shit up.
Yo, Jeff Bezos has so much money. Can you imagine being like, this show is going to cost, let's say it is of the highest quality, $15 to $20 million an episode. Cool, great, that's fine, whatever. Jeff Bezos has the money. But we're going to need another $250 million before you start.
Right.
That's fucking nuts.
Like, I know my worth.
I mean, that Tolkien shit puts people in seats, man. It does.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm like, why don't y'all just make a movie?
I would imagine television would generate more revenue.
Oh, Epix is a television channel.
Yes, sir. It is.
I thought it was a streaming service. I don't fucking know.
I mean, I guess it kind of is, isn't it? Wait, is it actually on television?
Yeah, it's a cable station.
Oh, okay.
It's a premium cable station that you have to pay for.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I didn't know that. Do you have Epix?
We have Stars, not for long.
Because power's about to go off?
Yeah. And you know what's fucked up?
Are they
Comcast is dropping Stars.
Wait.
Yeah, they are.
Before the series ends.
Yeah.
We were driving around in Baltimore.
You haven't seen the billboards?
There's a billboard on 83.
I saw it on Facebook. I didn't know they would cut it off before the fucking series finale.
That's fucking
That's funny. I don't watch Stars, so I don't give a fuck, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, nah, fuck you, 50. Like, why would they
fuck your series finale, nigga? That's foul, yeah.
You know why? Because fucking Comcast hates Tyreek too.
I mean, I get it. When does the show end? Besides not soon enough.
I think they have a mid-season break and they come back. They should
just drop it during the mid-season break.
That's the plan.
Oh damn! Like, Power's gonna be back. Not for you. Wow. Maybe on a torrent site, but not for you. That's foul. That's fucked up. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Amazon is getting ready to pay a boatload of money for Lord of the Rings. Man, that show better be really, really good.
Whatever. I've never finished a Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, I mean, look, people love those movies. But I guess this is the question for Netflix too. How are these shows generating money? I don't get it. There's not commercials being run.
Does Netflix sell your viewing habits to your associated
wasn't that
email
the
address?
reason why people were saying like Netflix can't sustain all that shit? Because like
once
there's
you
no commercials,
right? So once you subscribe, that's the only money.
And
they're
a lot of people, like I think they said they were trying to get rid of people being able to use your password and shit like that.
Oh yeah, they working on
accounts.
that.
Yeah, because where the fuck do they get the money?
I mean, here's
the only thing I can think of is them selling your viewing habits to the associated email address, and then your email address is linked to everything.
Yeah.
So once they have that, they can, I'm sure they can hit up Facebook and be like, oh, okay, this is this person. Let's show them this ad and this ad.
According to this article from April of this year, they do not sell your data.
Well, then they're just
blowing money.
Right. Maybe it's like Jim Carrey's Riddler in that Batman movie.
Get everybody together.
They stick the thing on your head, and then it's feeding me credit card information and bank codes and all that shit.
I don't think he was a good Riddler.
No, he wasn't. He was the Joker. He was a terrible Joker.
Marshal Bill.
Yeah, he was awful. It wasn't his fault because he's really funny, but no. So this is a really super interesting article. And I would tell people to actually go back and read it, but it just kind of gives you a breakdown of just our benefit of having so many great television shows, what that is actually doing. And it is actually, I think long term, it is going to cause a collapse in Hollywood. I don't think it's sustainable. Like, you're going to see some of these services, they're going to go away. They're going to go away. Like, there's the, CBS All Access and Peacock and all. Those little ones are going to go away. They have to. And the ones that sustain, like Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO Max, I would, and Amazon, I feel like, and probably, and Hulu are probably the only ones that are really going to keep around. I think the rest of them are going to die.
Do they have like the money? Like how when Disney Plus comes out, are they going to have commercials and shit? Like how does that work? Like for any of those streaming services?
I mean, it is the conundrum.
Amazon, like, you fucking buy everything from Amazon, so they don't have a problem. They could just throw money at whatever. But like Netflix,
yeah, I don't understand. I mean,
Disney Plus, of course. I mean, their movies comes out. Their movies make $1 billion every time they come out, so they'll be fine.
Right, but I mean, the question is, the streaming scenario does heavily rely on new content all the time. Right? So every year you got to be coming out with new seasons of shows or new shows because you don't want it to get stale. Those shows cost money. They clearly cost a lot of money. Like, do you only just rely on your other avenues of your business to generate revenue and you don't worry about the streaming service making money because you're keeping people on and they're getting their monthly fees because they like all the Netflix show or all the shows, but you're not making additional revenue on top of that. But Netflix is fucked because they don't have another way.
Right. That's their revenue is people's subscriptions.
Right. So until there's like once their subscriptions hit a wall, like that seems to me that's it. I think they're primed to get bought out. Is basically my point here.
An article from 2017 says Netflix is the biggest video streaming service in the world. It serves 190 countries with over 109 million users. How does it make money? Netflix's main source of revenue is subscriptions that cost between $8 and $14 per month. This totals to about $950 million per month. According to the company's earnings reports, which is no longer available. It earns about $30 million per month through DVD rentals. Really? The profit or net income is approximately $43 million per month. Overall, the company earned $8.83 billion in total revenue in 2016 and is on track to make over $11 billion total revenue in 2017. Again, this article is from December 2017. Netflix does not make any money through advertisements or commercials. They make about $1.4 million a day.
Jesus Christ.
And they have to pay for content, man. Like
they just snatch up everything else from like other like countries and shit.
Yeah. So
and they make it say this is original content. Like, no, really, that was not.
Not really.
You just
like Bodyguard.
And then they got to pay for advertisements, right? Because every once in a while you'll see something on television like that is like, hey, this is only on Netflix or watch it like right Facebook. Now. Right, on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just I'm very curious to see how they're going to sustain themselves. And I don't know that they can. I think they're going to hit a wall eventually and somebody's just going to be like, oh, we'll take all of that content.
I mean, but do they have like
Apple or HBO Max or Warner or Disney?
Yeah, I
probably not Disney. They got enough shit. They got enough shit. They really do. But I could absolutely see Apple buying it. And Apple has a ton of money.
Yeah.
And if Apple took all of the content from Netflix and threw it into Apple Plus, it'd be like,
okay,
all right, well, I guess I'm getting Apple Plus then. But they could sustain it, right? Like, because they have another business that makes a ton of money. They bring out a new phone, and they're fucking good. It is what it is. All right, question of the week, Terrence.
Oops, hold on. I forgot I do that now. Question of the week. As soon as it loads up, another question of the week. How many chances do you wait? God damn it, stupid motherfucker! How many chances do you give writer-directors before you swear off their future works? Cam says, I try to take each individual project that a creative has on a case-by-case basis. This new hotness. All right, Cam, relax. Of throwing people away just because you didn't like one thing they did is crazy to me. Hell, even if a person has a long losing streak, it doesn't mean they can't ever recover. Look at Affleck before he got put into the Snyder mess. He was on a huge bounce. He was. And as I said in the group, if we're throwing away everyone after one fucking failure, then Ava DuVernay is on the scrap heap next to these dudes. But that's not a conversation people want to have out there.
I mean, he makes a good point. Like, yo, Wrinkle in Time was not good. Like, it was mad. Like, the score is mad terrible. Like, nobody was like, I'm not gonna watch the Central Park 5, right. Or when they see us, like, of course. So yeah.
Mark says, I tend to base my opinion on writer directors on whether they've challenged themselves or not. Some of them stay in their lane and it can grow tiresome seeing the same thing over and over without any growth. A few talents that I used to love in my younger years have turned into a bad carbon copy and can't get their mindset out of their old ways.
M. Night.
Well, what was the last one?
Glass.
Which, I never saw that. I wanted to see it, but
it's on Hulu.
Everyone said it's not.
Yeah,
it's on Hulu.
It's on HBO.
Oh, that's how I'm seeing it. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, well,
if it's on Hulu, it's on HBO. That's how I saw Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, Glass is not
Glass
good.
Is ass. Glass is ass is what you're saying.
I wouldn't be that positive on it.
Oh damn!
It was
because we all like ass.
Yeah, exactly.
It was unfortunate.
Womp womp.
Really.
Like a flat ass.
Yeah, that is a.
Steve says, see? That's all I'm saying.
Steve says, I don't swear off anyone. I just go based off trailers and general word of mouth. It's dumb to polarize everything, which seems to be a trend, by the way, which, yeah, that is correct. Yep. Based off think pieces, politics, mob mentality. Just go with the flow. If it looks good, see it. If it's bad, oh well, it's still nice to get out of the house. If it looks bad, I just won't see it or wait till it's on Blu-ray. Yeah. Gaston says, my general rule is one. What? My general rule is a surprise, whatever, yo. 2 is unusual coincidence, and 3 is a trend.
My general rule is 1 is a surprise, 2 is unusual, 3 is a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
There's a comma that needs to be in there.
Yeah. Gaston, thought you were smart.
You moved down south. That's what happens when you move down south.
They're gonna come for you.
I didn't say it, but if I'm watching,
we're a part of the South.
Yeah, we're like right above.
Technically.
Look, just because we don't have a Publix up here, don't mean we ain't part of the South.
I don't shop at a Piggly Wiggly.
I've been to one. That shit is wild. But if I'm watching or reading something and the characters aren't fleshed out enough to drive the story, then it's a no for me. I blame Criminal as the current show that has spoiled me because I expect that if you're writing a movie, you should be able to show what a character is, like a visual medium, and it starts with solid writing. Even Looney Tunes figured out that you can put a well-written character in any situation and it'll be entertaining. That's true. TJ says, I go to see films that spark my interest, so I honestly don't keep track of the success and failure of writers and directors. Yeah, I kind of do the same thing.
Yep.
Christopher says, I think for me, it depends on what movies they were. I tend to be more unforgiving if it's a really character-driven indie flick versus a big box office thing. Indie films are made on a small budget, so writing really needs to be on point. Big-ass films can get away with writing and still be entertaining, at least. Also, it's not always the writer's fault. Can be the director or the studio putting their hands in the cookie jar when they don't need to do so. Malcolm says, seeing as how I had given M. Night chance after chance, my new rule is 3 and you're out. no questions, no objections, 3 and your ass is done. For example, Bryan Singer and post 300 Snyder.
Like, see, I understand people's mentality when they say, I'm going to give this a certain number of episodes.
Yeah.
But if that were the case, I would never have watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah, because it's slow as shit in the beginning.
Yeah. So I use a lot of word of mouth. You know what I mean? Like,
I listen to my friends
say,
who I know have similar taste to me.
If people say that something is good, you just got to stick with it. Then I'll stick with it. But if I don't like one episode of a show, that's it. I ain't got time.
Yeah.
To sit through and wait for something to get good.
Right. Like if it's bad. Like, it's one thing if something is slow, because I write, especially like long epic shows like Breaking Bad and stuff like that. They are developing those characters from the ground up. I get that. I'm like, all right, it's a little bit of a slog. Okay. Right. And then it gets moving. I'm like, all right, rock and roll. Breaking Bad is a perfect example of that, because I was like, I don't get it. For like the first 3 or 4 episodes, I was like, nigga, this show is mad boring. And then it was just. And I'm like, I don't care. Is he dead yet?
Right.
Got it. But then all of a sudden it just turned a corner, and then it just picked up.
Lance says 3 strikes rule. Once it gets to that point, I won't watch this stuff unless friends, critics I trust say it's worth checking out. Anthony says you only have to hurt me once. Okay.
Once, and then again next year, 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 and then finally one more time next year.
Leonardo just laughs. Okay.
Lisa says 8 seasons, apparently.
That's all I'm saying, man. Like, it's hilarious, yo. Y'all can't get out there and be like, yo, I'll never watch. Yo, you said watch it for 8 seasons. I'm trying to think, what was a popular show that ever... Oh, Walking Dead. It's a perfect example.
Yo, that show was still on for some fucking reason.
Yo, people were just like this.
Like, yo, this movie, this show is terrible. I'm
Guess
done.
what?
I'm done.
Guess what?
You like it.
The first episode of season 2, I'm over it. And then I never watched anymore.
I think I made it to 3 seasons, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
I tried to watch the first season. That was 6 episodes. I didn't make it to the end. And people were like, no, just give it the second season. It's getting really good. And I was like...
was like, does he still have his hand?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
He still does, yo. He still did. I think he's dead now. And I don't know. Who cares? I tried to watch the second season. People were like, nah, it gets really good. I made it almost to the end, and I was just like, I don't give a fuck. This is terrible. You were like, nah, yo, 3rd season, my nigga. 3rd season is where it's at. And I was like, all right, last time. And I made it 3 episodes, and I was like, never again. I'm not watching it, dude.
It's literally the same exact show every season.
Yeah.
They just go to a different settlement, and it's just a bunch of weird ass motherfuckers.
Yeah. And what I don't understand is people, I watch the same exact people, not just similar people. The same people complain about Walking Dead every single season. This show sucks. I can't believe this is so bad. Why am I watching? Fuck this show. Oh shit, nigga, Walking Dead's back. It's the same thing. Yo, you have an abusive relationship. You're in an abusive relationship. Just leave.
I don't know why that show is still on.
I don't know. It's bad.
I think I saw the commercial for it last week. I was like, nigga, this show is still on?
I think it's in season 15.
I think it started in 2010.
If you combine that show and the spinoff.
It's in season 10.
Yeah, like that and Game of Thrones started at the same time. Didn't it?
How?
And Game of Thrones took a year off.
Right. Because I remember.
Yo, this show still has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Both of those shows started at the same fucking time. Game of Thrones is over. And that shit is still the fuck on. Okay.
Yo, how is this show still on?
I don't get it.
Y'all niggas are still watching.
Is it Jiminy Cricket?
I think it's Jiminy.
Jiminy? Depends. 2 or 3 at least. If I absolutely hate the first thing you did, second better look amazing for me to give it a chance. But if it looks like more of the same, I probably wouldn't give it that chance. It really just depends. Ramirez says no more than 3 chances for small missteps in their work. But if it's egregious, then I don't look for them anymore. So sayonara, Simon Kinberg.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you.
We'll be avoiding anything else he does as of now. Brian says, I take it project by project. I mean, take a look at Watchmen. It's off to a fantastic start. Does Lindelof have a track record of closing the shows? I'd argue yes with the leftovers, but he hasn't always been able to do it. Lost. Yeah. It's extremely difficult to do. TV history is littered with beloved shows that couldn't stick the landing. Yeah, it's really hard to finish.
Yeah, because everybody has their own preconception of what they need, what they want, and they don't get it, right? Yeah. Seinfeld has a notoriously panned final episode.
People hate that episode?
People hated that episode.
I really like that.
All of those people were garbage.
Right.
Because I just watched through the last season. I'm like, yeah, you all deserve to go to prison.
Right. But everybody
Spoilers, Terrence?
Everybody hated that season. Except for the three of us, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't hate that.
I remember in high school, people were like, one of my teachers was like, I really didn't like it. And this motherfucker was sitting right there. Was like, I didn't see the big deal.
Again, they were all garbage. And is it just me, or did Elaine just get dumber as the series went on?
I don't remember.
Elaine is
I watched the last 3 or 4 seasons. I'm like, yo, she seems to she's becoming Kramer.
Elaine is, I don't know about that, but I need to rewatch.
Yeah, when y'all start doing the episodes, I'm like, yo, why the fuck is she so stupid? But anyway, back to TV history is littered with.
We haven't forgotten about the show, guys. We've been really busy.
Couldn't stick the landing. None of those shows got the hate these two are getting. If they make something for Netflix that turns out good, I might check it out. But don't lose sight that without people like these, sometimes a show might never get made in the first place. That's true. Khalif says, if they didn't learn from the first mistake, I'm done. Same treatment I gave for the Transformers films.
I mean, that's fair. But the thing is, okay, the question is, did you watch Bumblebee, right? Because that's also a Transformers film. It was done by different people, but people are like, fuck all the Transformers movies. But apparently that was really good.
Which it was pretty solid.
Yeah, so it's you have to be careful not to throw away things, not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, as it were.
Dirk says, honestly, I don't think there's an answer to this question because it really does depend on how good the work of theirs I like was. Like Michael Mann's Manhunter through Insider Run has earned him a few more black hats, but M. Night is basically always on double secret probation.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, Michael Mann's Manhunter. That was the one with what's his name? He's in Succession right now. Brian Cox?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that movie's good.
Succession is a really good fucking show, man.
Yes, it is.
Mark says it depends on how bad the current work is.
I believe it's pronounced Mark, but go ahead.
I actually didn't read. I'm not from Cali. From New York. Anyway, I actually didn't rage at season 8, so I'll give them another shot. Shyamalan, I'm thinking Split was kind of a dead cat bounce for him.
That is correct.
So no more chances unless someone I trust recommends something. Seltzer and Friedberg, yo.
Yeah, they
did do such stupid disaster movie.
Yeah, Scream and
they deserve to go to prison. She's terrible, yeah.
Wow.
Out of chances, look up all their movies that he's done.
I looked it up because I didn't know the name. Those names.
Okay. They are the two of the 5 writers of Scary Movie.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then they started doing all those movies year after year, and that
epic
are garbage.
Yeah.
They deserve to be in prison.
They need to be.
Yeah, fucking terrible. Out of chances before they started, I noped out as soon as I saw their first trailer. Those who were previously good, though, I think I'd have to read how much studio interference was involved. Phil says, I think I gave Snyder 2 after 300. The Wachowskis got way too many chances.
Yeah. But at the same time, I agree with him. At the same time, I'm going to see Matrix 4.
I got to see a trailer. From Matrix 4. C says, take each one on a case-by-case basis. Adam Shankman made Hairspray in 2007, and Francis Ford Coppola made Jack in 1996.
I mean, that's the right answer, yo.
It's not indicative. It's just not indicative of their future work.
Bradley says it's 3 chances total, and Eddie says 3. So 3 strikes and you're out seems to be the consensus. I mean,
I mean, look, I get
somebody can have 3 strikes, but then come back with something amazing. So you never know.
Yeah, I get it. But
these guys have had 1. Right?
This is my point.
They're like, fuck these niggas forever.
Yeah, that seems...
They fucked up the last 2 seasons of a show that you were probably getting tired of anyway. But you know,
I mean, they did kind of get thrown out on a ledge. My man George R.R. Martin was like,
I'm done.
Here's a summary of what I would have done. Nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah, outline. Right. Fucking curb your enthusiasm. Like, what am I supposed to do with this shit?
Hey, guys, wing it. Like, thanks. I know you took years to write this massive epic, but we'll write down the ending on a cocktail napkin and see what you do with it. Like, yo, come on. God damn.
Hey, eventually we want Jon Snow to kill his aunt. Figure it out.
Yeah. What? yeah. So we killed Joffrey, and then I need you to get here. Like, so we're gonna build the plane while we're flying it. Is that what we're doing? Like, all right, cool, thanks. No, George R.R. Martin is one is a Captain Chesapeake stand-in. 2 is an asshole. Like he just threw those poor sons of bitches to the wolves.
That's funny, man.
I am interested though to see whether they do another adaptation or do they do original content. Because by the way, that will show if they have talent. Yeah. If they do an original content and they build it from the ground up, and it's something successful, that will show that they have real talent.
They're the ones that want to do Confederate
that.
Or whatever.
They did. That show. Yeah. But then Damon Lindelof was like,
let me get some of that. And
people are going to be outraged. David Lindelof's like, we'll see.
Okay, sure. No, some people are absolutely outraged.
Yeah, they apparently lost 200,000 viewers. Nobody cares. Watchmen is too political.
I would love to see the demographics.
No.
Cam. Boom. One line.
The same people that'll take a bullet for Trump.
Good.
That's pretty much it.
Good. Sign up. Stand right here for a second. Yeah. Where's Trump? Don't worry about it. He's coming. Yeah, it's just that's crazy to me. That's just crazy. Watchmen is too political is what I read. I'm like, yo, did you read the book? Like, did you read the comic? It's right there. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's all political. It's all based in ahistorical political events like Vietnam, Nixon being president in the 1980s. Robert Redford is president now. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Bizarre.
Yeah. It means Sundance likely doesn't exist. That's weird. It's a part of that history.
Yeah, that's the weird part of it.
Yeah, no, that's the part that upsets me, really, truly. I hope Robert Redford makes a cameo in the show.
Who's going to be in Captain America: The Winter Soldier now that President Redford is too busy?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. All right, let's get into What the Fuck, brought to you by JTD. Micah, take it away.
When it comes to engagement rings, we know that not everyone will be able to afford a real diamond, and that's nothing to be ashamed of if you're poor. Instead of... I'm just joking, man. Instead of splashing the cash, some couples decide to buy cheaper ones or craft unique rings themselves out of sentimental items for a low-budget alternative.
I feel like I'm not going to like this.
And while a lot of people have no qualms about being proposed to with a homemade trinket, it seems there's one thing many people would really hate to receive. Let it be known that the people of social media, and surely all sane people out there, draw the line at an engagement ring made from a man's fingernail clippings. Yes, it seems one man really spent a year collecting his fingernail clippings to turn into a quote-unquote diamond ring.
That's disgusting.
It's not a diamond ring.
The whole process was shared on...
What the fuck what are we talking about right now?
that is the most realistic response. It's not a diamond ring. You know what, Terrence? You're correct.
The whole process was shared on Twitter in a disturbing viral video. A paper reported that a man who creates videos on YouTube under a certain name collected his fingernail clippings for 365 days and filmed the process of them being turned into a piece of jewelry. I think you know enough to make a guess as to where this is.
Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. A Japanese man who goes under the name Kiwami, Japan.
Yeah, I blame Carrie for this entire story. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. However, this didn't give the desired. Oh, okay. Once he had collected a sufficient amount of clippings, the man started putting them into a blender. However, this didn't give the desired consistency, so he then ground them into a very fine powder before mixing with water in a pan. The fourth step saw
gel in there.
The fourth step saw him compress the nail powder and water mixture and put it in an oven for 90 minutes. And when it came out of the oven, what came out of the oven can only be described as looking like a lump of dark clay. So the man took the mixture, put it into a diamond-shaped mold before inserting it into a silver ring, which he also made himself.
I mean, it looks kind of dope. It's disgusting, but it looks dope.
No, a black ring. No.
I don't know. I'm cool with that.
It's too dull. It's gotta have shine to it. It's gotta have some sheen to it.
So you want to shine that some bitch up?
Yeah, stick it sideways and shove it up his ass. Like what the fuck?
This is pretty disgusting though. Much like hair, the second your fingernails leave your physical body, they're disgusting.
Yeah, they're dead bones, yo. Like he ground up dead bones.
I mean, when you say it like that sounds kind of badass.
Nah, yo.
You're not doing this for your wife?
No.
For an anniversary gift?
No.
Yeah, I feel like you don't love her enough.
I don't. I don't love her enough to give off discarded fingernail clippings.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you should, though. You think she'd accept it?
No.
You think she'd accept it if it was shined up, but it was black and it was shiny, and you didn't say it was your disgusting fingernails?
No, she wouldn't accept a piece of black jewelry.
I think if you said, "I got it because you're black, you're a black queen."
Yeah,
I can't even get the sentence
exactly.
out.
She was like, "What queen do you know is black jewelry? What the fuck? Get out of here!"
This is weird.
Yeah, this is just weird, man.
Yeah,
this is weird.
Yeah, don't do this. Yeah. Don't use any sort of rejected body part to make jewelry for your significant other.
Yeah, get a job. It's super easy. Stupid millennials.
I can't find a job because the economy is fucked up. Yeah, well, whatever.
All right. Put yourself up by your bootstraps like I did.
Yeah, exactly. With this small loan I got from my father of $40 million. I can do it. You can do it. All right, Terrence, you're up.
11-year-old girl wrestles a crocodile to save a friend.
America.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Tampa.
In a rare show of bravado, an 11-year-old girl from this place plunged into a stream. Those the other guesses?
No, Tallahassee.
Y'all are both wrong as fuck.
Australia.
An 11-year-old girl from Huangtown plunged into a stream and jumped on top of a crocodile before gouging its eyes out to rescue a 9-year-old friend who had been gripped by the reptile.
Jesus Christ.
The incident happened last week when Latoya Muwani was attacked by
I saw that movie. That's a Disney movie, right? I'm being a dick.
Attacked by a crocodile while swimming with her friend in the stream in Cinderella Village. Come the fuck for real, my nigga. Like,
all these words don't make sense.
I think it's South Africa.
Yeah, I was about to say, is this Africa? Because that sounds like some African ass shit.
However, Rebecca Moonkambwe, a grade 6 pupil at a local school, displayed some heroic exploitations when just after coming out of the stream, she was alerted by the screams of help coming from the water. After seeing that her friend Latoya was struggling to stay on the water surface and was being pulled away, her instincts told her that she had to jump on a fucking crocodile and yank his eyes out. Yeah, that's wild. She quickly plunged into the water where she found out that Latoya was being pulled away by the big reptile, which had gripped her on the hand and leg. She mounted it and started gouging its eyes out until it loosened its grip. Yo, that's gangster as fuck.
Yo, that...
As an 11-year-old, she's like, fuck that. I'm about that life.
Yeah, I'm not about that life. I'd be like, yo, I lost my 9-year-old friend. Yo, it's a wrap for you. Yo, I'm not jumping on a crocodile.
She jumped on a crocodile. I was like, she hit her with the fucking eye gouge.
I mean, that chick's kind of a badass.
Yeah. She's 11.
I feel like she's ready to be a leader during after Skynet attacks. Like, I feel like she's ready. Wow, that is not what I would do.
Yeah, no.
I'd be crying on the shore. Yo, they got her, yo. They got little Latoya, yo. They got her.
She said I jumped on top of the crocodile and started beating it with my bare hands before using my fingers to poke its eyes out.
Jesus.
Until it released her. Once she was free, I swam with her to the banks where the other children pulled her out of the water.
And that little girl
fortunately did not attack us after it left.
They couldn't see you.
Like, you fucking blinded it.
Yeah, it's like, yo, it's just bouncing against the rocks right now.
Yo, that is wild.
That is a hell of a story. Thank you for a story that is
that's
nice.
Uplifting.
Yeah, not girl gets grabbed by crocodile, another girl attacks crocodile eats two girls. like is it gonna easily gone that way? Like, oh shit, dinner and a snack. I get it. Next up, my story. Disgusting hidden ingredient in your coffee.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't care.
Well, this does not apply to me either because I'm not a poor person. If your coffee is made from pre-ground beans, never. There's a pretty good chance you're drinking ground up cockroaches. That's according to one scientist who just wants to freak people out, who revealed that entomologists who work with cockroaches often develop an allergic reaction to the insects. And at the same time, develop an allergic reaction to pre-ground coffee. Oh, that's disgusting. This isn't really a location. It's just kind of a study. University of Montana biology professor Douglas Emlin first split the bean in a 2009... Oh, excuse me, spilt the beans. In the 2009 interview... Yeah, I fucked that up. Interview with NPR journalist Terry Gross. How convenient. About research into dung beetles. Yeah, so he was fiercely addicted to caffeine, but then he started having pre-ground coffee like a fucking heathen, and started getting sick. Micah, you drink coffee on occasion. Do you guys buy pre-ground coffee?
No, whenever I drink coffee, it's that candy coffee that you get from Starbucks. Like, it's not real coffee. It's coffee flavored milkshakes is what it is. It's all that shit is.
Yeah, largely that's true. Does your wife drink coffee at home? Does she have a coffee grinder, or does she get pre-ground?
She very rarely does she drink coffee at home. Like, she'll go out to get coffee. But
you guys don't have a coffee machine at home?
We have what are those
K-cup things?
Yeah. We have a Keurig.
Yeah. And that's full of cockroach
that is water. That is a last resort. Like, we are snowed in or we don't have enough time, and she's one of those people that can't function without coffee. Drug addicts is what I call them.
That's fair. Yeah, I can't imagine living a life of pre-ground coffee. That's never.
What's the difference?
This one has roaches. I think that's the difference. I think that's the main difference there. I feel like that's a pretty good difference. No, that's disgusting. I mean, look, there are bugs and shit in everyone's food. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's called protein, guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
And they allow a certain amount.
What's that?
The FDA allows a certain amount of bugs and shit in your food.
Yeah,
because you can't get rid of all of it.
No, that's true. Yeah. It's disgusting.
Kind of gross. Burger.
I did have cricket protein powder once, and it was not good.
Really? You mean to tell me that ground up bugs, it wasn't good? What the fuck?
I wanted to try it. It has more protein than it has an easier digestible protein, better than stuff from cows. And yeah, it wasn't flavored at all. It was really revolting, and it really was, to the point where I spent like a decent amount of money on like a small amount, like from like Mom's or something, like one of these organic places. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. And I think I spent, for like a small thing, I spent like $20, right? It was like a significant amount of money.
Did you just throw it in
I threw it away, yo. I was like, yo, this is yeet. Like, it's not fucking worth it. It was disgusting. It was really disgusting. Now, I hear there are other ones that are much better, that are flavored. I don't know that I want to try it.
Yeah, no. I'm good.
That's so funny. Really? At first, for a second, my stupid brain was like, is he really asking? And then I looked at your face, I was like, he's not really asking. He's being an asshole. Trailers this week. The BBC is doing a Dracula series. This is made by the same folks who do Sherlock. There's only like a 46-second trailer for this. Terrence, you're a big horror person?
A fucking fly just went to this nigga's eye.
Yeah, that is correct.
It's fucking gross. It looks fine. It's BBC. They do really good work.
Yeah, this looks really disgusting. Gross. Yeah, I'm actually here for it because I like when they do horror, when they do it with like a level of seriousness, and like this has a level of seriousness that I like, especially for a Dracula character. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this. I don't know when it's actually coming out. Micah, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
You too scared?
I don't really care for gothic shit.
Did you watch? You watched Sherlock? Did you?
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but I watched it.
Okay. Did you like Sherlock?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. This don't look nothing like Sherlock.
Oh no. No. I will watch this. I like a good Dracula story, but I'm gonna be scared shitless. I'm definitely watching this with the lights on.
No, you know. When it comes to the gothic shit, Castlevania is probably my limit. It's like,
nigga, that's a video game.
Yeah, that's it.
You're a coward.
Oh well.
I'm saying this as I know my own people. It's not a judgment, really. Last but certainly not least, the second trailer for, which I assume is the last trailer, for The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, which starts streaming November 12th. This is absolutely movie quality.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't give a fuck, but this looks like this could be on the big screen. Easily.
Absolutely.
I'm a lot of money behind this fucking show. How much money?
This is $15 million an episode. This is on the same amount of money they're spending on the Marvel series.
No.
As well. Which gives you an idea of what they can do. I mean, the funny thing is, Star Wars, while it's so much fun for me in the theaters, a Star Wars series of this level is going to be a fucking blast. Like, I'm really excited for that. And I think my understanding that I've seen is that they're doing this week to week too. They're not just putting it all out, which I think is a smart move, especially for an opening series like this.
Yeah, you got to give a reason for people to come back, to keep coming back into your app, right? Like you got to make it a habit for people,
right? Also, fucking Bill Burr is in this trailer, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, did anybody know he was going to be in this?
I did. Yeah, I saw a blurb about it when the first trailer came out.
I was like, oh shit,
old Billy Redface, and it's funny because he was like, I don't give a fuck about Star Wars.
Yeah, guess what, folks? Most people don't. Like, these are gigs to these people.
Yeah,
they're going to come on and they're like, oh, I used to read Adam Strange comics when I was a kid. No, nobody did. Nobody did. Nobody did.
Yeah, Bill Burr was like, I remember him talking about he had never seen Star Wars until he was an adult. He was like, I didn't give a fuck about Star Wars. Who cares? And now he's in The Mandalorian like, y'all getting paid.
Right.
Yeah, he's getting paid. Whatever. He's probably going to be a really fun comedic mercenary. Yeah, he'll be great, I'm sure. He's done a little bit of acting. He was on Breaking Bad for a while. Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to it. But this, I think, looks really, really quite good. This is as high quality of a Star Wars TV show as you could ask for. I mean, it really is quite impressive.
And it looks, just the fact that it is fleshing out the world, letting the world be something other than Jedis versus Sith. And don't get me wrong, I like the laser swords as much as the next person, but there's more to this world. Like, you got a whole sect of bounty hunters that has just never been explored.
Right.
everyone claims to love Boba Fett, but nobody wants to see Boba Fett in something like this. Is it?
Yeah, that's why I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man.
Like to finally actually kind of see
that Mandalore armor looks badass, right? It always has, even on overrated ass Boba Fett. It's always looked badass, and
frankly, I think this one looks even better.
It does, man.
It looks more streamlined from what I remember seeing of the regular one.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So, yeah, I'm all about it, yo.
I'm looking at some of these scenes. Yo, these are some movie-ass scenes. Like, there's a scene at about 1:30 where he's hanging on the back of a ship.
He pulls himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, that's fucking dope. Like, I don't care, but I might watch this.
Yeah, this looks fun.
Because it looks really good.
Yeah. But I feel like this is more the sort of Star Wars world you would like, the more gritty, sort of down-to-earth stuff.
Yeah, nothing about the religious aspects of Star Wars and there's very clear instances of goodness and evil and all like that's the kid stuff.
Was that Freddie Prinze?
Yeah, that was Freddie Prinze Jr.
He just like shitted on everybody.
Yeah. Star Wars fans.
I know this
because Star Wars fans are just the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst fan base. It is. It's like somehow they have like some of the biggest like Uber fans who have the funnest time with their property, and simultaneously the worst fans. Like they just do.
It's weird. That's very weird to me.
I'm just like, I don't know why. I really don't know why. All right, so I think that's it for us for this week. We will see you guys next week. We'll we're back on our normal schedule. So make sure you check out our other shows, Black and Black Cinema, where we're putting out our Candyman episode this week. Should be fun. As well as Dense Pixels. You guys have a new episode, our video game podcast. Terrence, you're finally back next week.
I will be.
Oh shit, son! Are you playing anything?
Outer Worlds.
There you go. I learned all about this game. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I just listened to see if they're going to say anything mean about me. Also, make sure you check out Look Forward, our political podcast, and go to the nerdpocalypse.com/premium, sign up for premium content, and you get all of our premium shows as well. And we will see you guys next week.
See you.
Take it easy.
Bye.
You're watching the Nerdpocalypse YouTube channel. Make sure you click that button to subscribe and check out our weekly podcast where we talk about movie, TV, news, tech, and weird stories from around the internet.